Welcome to Movie Nerds by Killshot, a weekly podcast dedicated to cinema, TV shows, original soundtracks, new releases, behind the scenes, and much more. Tune in every Monday, 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, for new episodes and even see behind the scenes of our podcast. Follow us on social media at Movie Nerds 47 on Twitter. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions you want us to answer on our next podcast. Oh, and while you're at it, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It'll help us out a lot. Thank you very much, and see you next week.
Alright guys, welcome to episode 1 of Movie Nerds. My name is Killshot and I'm joined by Blue. What's up, Blue? How are you doing today?
Oh, today's a fine day. My last day of vacations before I start school tomorrow. So,
nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to relax. Get everything ready.
That's nice. So, let's start with topic number 1, shall we? Which is the Oscars.
Right.
Old news, but hey, we must continue on, right? So,
Yeah.
So, do you want to start or should I start? Because I'm going to go way ham on this one.
Okay, you start. You start first.
Alright, so why the fuck are we not going to get every single nomination on broadcasted on TV? That's my main question. If you didn't
Wait,
know...
they're not going to broadcast? Wait,
Yeah.
really?
Yes, I'm not joking.
Wait, what, really?
I'm not joking. No. I'm not joking, honestly.
Why?
I mean, okay, let me actually pull it up on my phone. 1 second. Basically, what? All Oscars broadcasted. If you hear that machine in the background, it's actually my health machine. So, just, ignore it.
I don't hear anything, so don't worry.
So basically, live action is not being broadcasted.
Alright.
And, let's see. Here's the list. If it shows me the damn list, it would be great. But apparently it does not. What's the I like how it's showing me the other ones. Ah, there we go. So how's your day, Blue?
Well, fine. Nothing really to point out. I just returned from my vacations with my family, and I just literally waiting for school to start. The only thing I've been doing is reading a book on calculus to get ready, and that's it.
Okay, so I can't find a list, but yeah, I'm not joking. Some categories will not be broadcasted.
Well, that's odd because every category has a place, right? Every category highlights a achievement in something important, and it may not be something that we as an audience directly notice. Like, for example, sound mixing. We don't really think about sound mixing unless it's really bad. So we don't think as a sound mixing as something as important as let's say an actor, because with an actor we immediately see it and it's the person we relate emotionally normally. But it still has a place in cinema, and it's not that the work is easy. Like, sound mixing can be a pain, especially in complex scenes or in action when you have to properly level each and every single track so everything can be comprehended if you don't have enough visual cues.
Okay, so there's actually 8 categories, and I got your list, but you can continue. So 8 categories being sorry.
Yeah, the only thing I'm noticing, I'm looking at the nominations list. Is it me, or is the new category just sound? Not differentiating between sound mixing and sound editing, it's just sound.
Yeah. Basically.
That's something new.
Yeah.
Alright.
The 8 categories being cut are Best Documentary Short, Best Film Editing, Best Makeup/Hair Styling, Best Original Score, which I'm very pissed off about, Best Production Design, Best Animated Short, Best Live Action Short, and Best Sound. Now, not seeing Best Original Score, that's gonna piss me off more because I think Dune is highly nominated for that one.
Yeah, Dune has a really good chance. Yeah,
But we
agree.
won't see it if it
Yeah,
actually
that's
wins, which is
that's frustrating. That's really
Just-
frustrating.
just absolute, like, come on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, 10 nominations for Dune. What do you think of that one?
I actually didn't expect to be 10. Like, yeah, I did expect some nominations, like soundtrack at the bottom, at minimum, cinematography and visual effects. Those are the three that that Dune had to get at least nominated. But I did not expect 10,
I don't
to be
think-
honest.
I didn't even expect 10, to be honest with you. I just expected, like, 1, because we know the Oscars. Not very generous to good movies. Let's be honest. Hashtag Tenet was not nominated more when it should have
To be
been.
honest, okay, this is an unpopular opinion. For me, Tenet, the only nomination that it should have gotten, but it didn't get,
Best Director.
was cinematography. No, it was cinematography, in my
Oh.
opinion.
Okay.
Best director, I mean, I don't. It's not that it wasn't horribly directed, but to be honest, I think looking at the competition, I think the nominations were fair enough, and I think there were more directors that did a better job on their respective films than Nolan did, because Nolan did it. Okay, in Nolan's filmography, Tenet is weird. Like, yeah, it might seem similar at a glance, like big action movie with high concept, like wow, amazing, literally Inception. But the way that he treated the subject, it's so odd because he focused on the subject, which might not sound weird at first, but he just focused on the concept. He gave his full attention to it, which is not bad per se. Like, he tried to do something new, which is like focus on the concept and the concept alone to see if that is enough to make a compelling film. And for some people, it didn't work. And even though the experiment might have given negative results, it doesn't mean it's a failure. Like, it's an experiment that gave results. That was an interesting one to see, and one that I personally enjoyed.
Yeah. I enjoyed Tenet a lot, actually. I was hoping for a 4-hour version of it. To be honest.
Yeah, I expected it to be longer, yeah.
Yeah.
Considering
definitely.
the subject, like, it's a new take on an already old concept. Like, but to be honest, I personally enjoyed it. I may not think it's the best film, and I personally think it's Nolan's worst. Like, don't do anything to me, but I do think Tenet is Nolan's worst film. But it doesn't mean it's bad. I still find that it has enough positive points to like be a compelling film that you could watch once and not feel that your time was wasted. Like, it has value, and I still own it physically. I have it behind me. You can't see it because I don't have a camera, but it is behind me. I have it and I enjoy it, but I wouldn't call it Nolan's best. No.
For me, it was definitely Nolan's best. I've never seen a movie
fair
like
enough.
Tenet. And even though we're on the Nolan subject, I think it's appropriate to go to his new movie, Oppenheimer.
Right.
So, what do you make of that?
I am actually really, really excited for Oppenheimer because it's something different. Like, yeah, Nolan has always, with each film, tried to do something different. For
Yes.
example, the jump between The Dark Knight the Interstellar, and Dunkirk. Like,
Yeah.
you have a space sci-fi film and then a war film with no characters on purpose. So it's very different. But I like seeing Nolan not only try something new, but something that is so close to his older films. Because this, for all accounts, for all that we can get, for all we know, it's going to be a character-centered story. Like a really character-centered story. And we really haven't had one of those since The Prestige, in my opinion. Like a film that focuses on the character. Because, the Batman films do focus a lot on Bruce Wayne, a lot. But they do diversify into the universe of Gotham. They do diversify into the villains of Gotham, the ambience, the action, the stakes. Whilst The Prestige is only about characters and relationship between two of them. Like, it's the whole thing.
Exactly.
And it's really exciting to see Nolan go back to a pure character drama. In black and white, might I add. Like, we haven't had that since The Following, which is like 2000, pre-2000. It's a long time we had.
2000 and... I know
When was The
2001
Following released?
Actually, I know Memento was actually 2001, if I'm correct.
2001, and it had black and white scenes, but he used them as a narrative tool to like differentiate time, where time is placed in the scenes. But yeah, we haven't had a black and white film like The Following since The Following, which is a long time ago.
Yeah, let me find it here in our server. Yeah, Following 1998.
1998, look at that.
And then you have Memento, which is 2000, so yeah.
Yeah, we have 2004. We had, going back to the roots, a character-driven drama in black and white. But with Cillian Murphy as the main... Wow, it's amazing. I'm really excited for what he can bring. Because it's something new for Nolan, which is something that is always exciting to see.
Which he's never done.
For any director, really.
He's never done an autobiography, right?
No, he's never done any real-life-based things, from what I remember.
Dunkirk
it's all
is
fiction.
Real life.
Well, yeah, okay, I completely forgot. You got me there. Yeah, you got me. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot Dunkirk. It's actually my favorite Nolan film. Holy Christ. Please skip that. I forgot completely about it.
Nope, everything's going into the edit now.
Christ. Okay, well. But the point is, yeah, Nolan doing a biopic. That's new. That's
in
completely
IMAX,
new.
black and white.
In IMAX, in IMAX, one with IMAX expects like large scale things and like action and stuff, or like really beautiful like landscapes. But we're talking about black and white. Like I still do think we're gonna have like big scale shots and sets. But I mean, the fact that it's black and white, it's gonna add a new flavor.
I mean, if that makes sense. It is possible to do black and white IMAX. It's gonna be a bit.
Yeah, it's possible. You know? Yeah, but to be honest, yeah, it is gonna be tricky. Like that is something that unless we're looking at extremely obscure projects or really specific documentaries, like on a large scale film, it's mostly fiction, but it's based on something. But it's written by someone, so. We haven't had an IMAX black and white film of such characteristics in ever. And to be honest, the fact that Nolan's doing it, like the man who brought IMAX to the mainstream, because he did. He flat out did.
Yes,
he brought IMAX to the mainstream. So he's the guy with most experience in IMAX in terms of filmmaking. So he might pull it off with the right cinematographer. That, if I'm not wrong, he's still going with Hoyt by Hoyt, am I right? So
yes.
He's still going to work with them.
Yes,
right.
Definitely.
Yeah, which is, okay, I would have to look this up, but has Hoyt done any black and white films? Because if he hasn't, it's something new.
Don't remember, but I do know the release date is 21st of July, 2023. I've said that countless times in the server. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, in the link down below this podcast, there is actually a Discord server that we're all into, and it's actually a Christopher Nolan Discord server. So if you want to go and check it out. We'll be right there with you guys.
Yeah.
And it is actually a fun server, so yeah.
Yeah, don't be fooled that, it's a Christopher Nolan centric, like there is a section dedicated to him, but we talk about a lot more than that. So if you want, if you don't really care about Nolan, you can just skip it and talk about stuff like Dune, movie, TV shows.
Because we have multiple channels like DC, Marvel. We have multiple
Star Wars
channels.
as well.
Yep, Star Wars, James Bond, and we are doing more changes every single day. Just gonna find more time to.
We're taking feedback.
Yes, we are taking feedback. And obviously improving the server much more. So if you guys want to join up and make it cool, you can do. Links in the description box.
If you have any suggestions, just say it. Don't worry.
Yep. We do have another question actually I have in mind. Now that we're speaking about Nolan, now would be a great time to speak about Batman because if I'm correct in saying this, Nolan knew about this before Robert even got the actual role. Because Robert was still waiting for the confirmation, and Christopher Nolan said, "Congratulations on your role on Batman," and he was actually shocked. So that's
to be honest, it doesn't surprise me. Like, for a man that literally revived Batman for its time, the man has probably connections. So he probably knows people who know stuff. So it's not surprising that he knew. But yeah, him congratulating. I can't speak English. Robert Pattinson for the role. It was really nice of him. Like, I saw an interview. Like, it's a 30-second clip with Pattinson explaining all this.
Yeah.
And yeah, it makes sense that someone like Nolan would knew, like with his high ranking, sort of within Warner. He must have known at least in one way or another.
Yeah. Speaking of Warner, I'm gonna divert the question. What is your take in knowing that? 1 second. So, what is your feedback towards Nolan moving from Warner Brothers to Universal?
Well, it's actually more simple than it seems. Like they have disagreements. They didn't come to any consensus, so he left. That's it. And he went to the first one who gave him the opportunity to do what he wanted. That's it. It's not rocket science. It's like basic business.
Yes.
Now the reason why, it might be more complex with the straight to streaming releases and all that. But on the bigger picture, we had a disagreement. We didn't have a consensus, so he went to another party who agreed with him. That's it.
Yeah.
It's mainly business, to be honest.
It is, and also the fact. 1 second. Just realized I'm on the wrong mic all of a sudden, and now I'm on the right mic. Okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Now that he's gone to Universal, Christopher Nolan, where do you think Jonathan Nolan is gonna stand right now?
Well, I personally
he's still with Warner Brothers, am I right?
Yeah. Well, if everything hasn't changed, yeah, he's still with Warner. And to be honest, I think if they treat it professionally, which I think they will, like the high-ranking writers and directors, they will take it normally and just keep working wherever they are.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of if they are gonna give them what they want to work. As long as X party gives them that, they're gonna stick to that party. So if Warner keeps collaborating with Jonathan the way he wants, he's gonna stay.
But do you think it could have an effect on Christopher Nolan in the future, knowing that, his own brother is with a studio that doesn't really respect Nolan anymore, but essentially
to be honest,
the brother, because he's also making the actual Fallout series with Warner Brothers, if I'm correct.
Well, to be honest, as long as they don't have a project together, if they keep working like separated, there's gonna be no problem. But the moment they want to collaborate, we're gonna have issues.
Yes. Especially when they're trying to make Interstellar 2, which I definitely hope actually happens.
Yeah, if they it can be Interstellar 2, it can be a new project, which would actually be nice to see them come again for a new project. Well, the point is, if they come back together, to be honest, if I had to place my bets, I would think Jonathan would move towards Universal as well, to be honest. I think he would leave Warner. I would personally think he would leave Warner.
So when this actually happens, we'll actually look back at this actual episode then. Okay. That's very interesting to know, because I do wonder if they'll actually be able to collab or not. And if they would, what kind of right will Warner actually have? But yeah, that's an interesting fact, actually. Are you excited about the Batman?
The Batman, yes, I actually am. Like, I've seen a few clips here and there, and it really feels like a detective film more than a Batman film. Like, well, with the conventional action-packed Batman film, like it really seems focused on the investigation, which is a new take on Batman that has not been seen on the big screen. That I'm actually really interested about.
Especially, Batman, correct?
A young Batman. To be honest, the prospect of a young Batman is not as appealing to me as it is the detective aspect of Batman. Like, I would rather have a detective Batman than only a young one with nothing else. I'd rather have a defining characteristic. So yeah, I'm really looking forward. It looks good visually because of the cinematography that they have. If I'm not wrong, it's the same cinematographer as Dune. So,
so.
and Dune will look great. So, and looking at shots from the Batman, it looks great as well. The action, it is really reserved. Like, it's not butts to nuts, like flying vehicles and explosions. No, it's like hand-to-hand combat, and that's it. It's done really well. Wide shots, nice choreography. Yes.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a Batman game more.
Yeah. To be honest, it does. It does feel like the detective aspect of Batman that is in the Arkham games coming to the big screen. That is actually a nice point.
Yeah. So, speaking of Batman, there are possible 2 different versions out there. One is a Dolby and one is the IMAX. From your perspective, what is the best viewing experience for a new audience member to go and watch it?
It depends on how the film was shot, really. Because if it was, first of all, if it was shot with IMAX cameras, like full resolution, maybe not IMAX film because that's really expensive, but with IMAX certified cameras, with shots dedicated to the format, it would make sense for you to watch it in IMAX. But looking at the promotional material, the IMAX format is not being pushed that hard.
No, because it's not shot in IMAX completely. You don't get any switching aspect ratios.
In that case, if it's just a matter of, I would say Dolby, because one of the main selling points of IMAX is ironically enough, for me at least, it's not the resolution, it's the aspect ratio.
Yeah.
So if you're going to have the same aspect ratio throughout the film, then I would preferably go with a Dolby screen with a higher dynamic range, more specialized audio and all that.
Yeah. So for people at home watching this podcast, don't know what the fuck is IMAX and Dolby Cinema. Which one do you want to take and actually explain? And I want to explain the other one.
I want to explain 2 minutes. I know more about IMAX than anything else, so can you take the Dolby Theater one, please?
Sure.
Right.
You can swear, by the way. I don't mind swear words.
Yeah. Fair enough. I just haven't had an opportunity or reason yet.
Cool.
Yet. So,
go ahead.
IMAX is a format that is more complicated than it seems, sadly, because I would hope it's more simple, but whatever. In short, IMAX means high resolution films, which it might seem weird because films are not recorded with an iPhone. They are recorded with big ass cameras with really specialized equipment. But IMAX brings the best in terms of visual scale, because that's the main selling point. Like, wow, look at this big scene in the biggest format, all of that. Because the thing with IMAX, first of all, with the IMAX film, because some purists talk day and night about IMAX film as a gospel, and I get it. Why? Because, okay, if you have ever seen a strip film, in anywhere, you have the basic idea of the size and formats of film. And for regular movies shot on film, important, they're shot with the 35mm standard. It has been there for the beginning of time. It has been perfected throughout the years and has had a very specific size and specifications that haven't really changed over the years, apart from color, and that's it. So what IMAX brings to the table is, step one, make the film strip big, physically big, like ginormous in comparison, and make it so instead of going like top to bottom, rolling top to bottom, it rolls side to side in order to capture the most amount of light onto the piece of film. So the result is a piece of film that is enormous, that has dimensions that haven't been matched by any other format, which bring the biggest, literally biggest image you can possibly bring to film. The prime objective of IMAX is bring scale with the highest standards of technology. I think that's it. If I keep going, I will probably start confusing myself. So I will stop there.
You didn't really mention about the LieMax and the true IMAX.
Yeah,
That's
I
really
really don't
cute.
want to delve that much into that because I only know the difference because there's only one IMAX screen in my country and it's a LieMax, and that's it. That's the best we have.
Well, for the viewers who don't know what is a LieMax and IMAX, it's simple. A LieMax is basically a cinema getting an IMAX screen. Sorry, getting an IMAX equipment and putting it in one of the biggest screens without the IMAX screen itself. And a true IMAX is basically the seats are curved into a stadium seating, and the screen is curved with IMAX equipment, and they're about, well, the one in the UK is actually 20 feet high. So that's the true IMAX. There is a website, however, that actually explains which IMAX is real and which is actually fake. I'll also link that in the description box for you guys to check it out. Yeah. I saw some new movies actually. Pretty recently. Two movies actually. One is called Death on the Nile. One is called Uncharted. Have you heard of those movies?
I heard a lot more about Uncharted than anything else, but yeah, I have seen like bits of the trailer, like not even the full trailer, but bits of the trailer of Death on the Nile, and it looks okay. I doesn't really call me to the cinema, to be honest, but it doesn't look outrageously bad either.
Okay, so our beloved Sator, aka known as Kenneth Branagh from
Yeah.
TENET, the director of Death of the Nile, and also an actor of the movie as well, by the way. He plays a role where he is a detective, and he is to solve this murder, actually, and it's really good. I was actually reading it. I'm quite impressed with it actually. Um, I mean, first of all, the music was good, okay? And then you
Mhm.
had the actual cinematography, right? You had the actual bow and you had the actual cinematography and all that stuff. That was actually good. And while I was watching it, you didn't notice. You can never notice what's about to happen next. Like, it's really, like, well shot, honestly. And after the credits, I did notice two logos on there. Optimized for IMAX theaters and optimized for Dolby Cinema. So if you get a chance to watch this, watch it in Dolby Cinema. You'll actually like it. So yeah. About Uncharted, I am a little bit pissed off with Uncharted actually. Because
Mm.
they have this character called Chloe. Okay? Chloe
Mm.
is a Uncharted 2 character from the video game, Uncharted 2. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
They're missing a scene when Nathan Drake and Chloe fall in love. They don't have that scene in the movie. They also have a scene with the plane scene. That's from Uncharted 3. That was, I would actually rate that as like a 7 out of 10 for the scene itself. It's like, it's there from Uncharted 3, but it did mess up a few things. Because if you play the game and then you see the movie, you'll see why it actually messes up. Because I'm not gonna spoil it, but trust me, it doesn't make sense in chronological order. That in 3 this happens, but in the movie this happens. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I mean, I even haven't played the game and I still get it, so that's kudos.
and Sully, I mean, Matt Damon as Sully, I mean, I was expecting an older person, but okay. Because Sully is literally an old man in the video game. And then you
All
put
right.
Matt Damon, and it's like, okay, what went wrong with the casting crew? Ah, that makes sense. Okay.
It's a reinterpretation.
Yeah, but if you're gonna reinterpret 2 games in one movie, you gotta reinterpret properly, in my opinion.
Oh, wait, is it really 2 games? Like, wow.
P13, because you have the character from Uncharted 2 going into Uncharted 3. which never happened, by the way, in the video game, if I'm correct in saying that. If I'm correct, because I don't remember. Yeah, I don't think that occurs because that's a different person. Yeah, okay. Cool. Let's move away before I spoil anything else.
Okay, fair enough.
For people who are addicted to streaming services, and honestly, I feel sorry for you because you are paying for complete garbage. Because every 6 months your catalog gets changed, and you have no right for that catalog to be yours, no matter how much you pay in Disney, and how much you're kissing the ass of fucking Netflix. But, you know what, I'm sorry, because physical media is so much better. And let me tell you why. Once you own something, it's yours. You don't have to return it back. Did you know about 13 Reasons Why physical media, Blue? Did you hear about the
Physical media.
controversial?
I mean,
Yes.
the best I can think of is the book, and that's it.
Right. Netflix edited a scene out of 13 Reasons Why and uploaded that version to Netflix. But the older version is still on physical media. Yes, you heard that right. The one on Netflix is actually censored, but the physical media version is not censored, and that's why physical media is better in my opinion. So basically, there was this suicide scene that got wiped off of the Netflix platform.
I think I know what you're talking about. I actually
Yes.
think I had that controversy as well.
Yes, that is why I like physical media. So, for people out there who don't know what physical media is, do you have a list of top 10 of your favorite DVD, Blu-rays, or 4Ks?
Like for my favorite movies in Blu-ray.
Blu-ray, 4K, DVD, go ahead.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, to be honest, I think one of my favorite films that I acquired in physical is like this Blu-ray of Gravity, the 2013 film from Alfonso Cuarón.
Okay.
Because I actually say whatever about that film. I don't care. I love that film. Right?
Yes.
So I bought the deluxe edition, which not only comes with the film, of course, and extra stuff like bonus features and all that, and a nice case, by the way. But the main reason I bought that is because it has a unique version of the film that I was unable to find anywhere else.
Really?
Which is, it's a version of the film with no music.
Oh.
It's called the Silent Space Edition, and it's only on that Blu-ray from what I could find.
Oh. Okay, now you got me interested. Imagine that. Wow.
For those who have seen the film Gravity, and if you haven't, I recommend it. I really do recommend it. But if you have seen the film, you can make a picture of all the big scenes with okay, I'm not gonna boil that deep. I'm gonna start the beginning, the main scene, the first scene, with the shuttle. Okay, for those who have seen the film and you know what I'm talking about, imagine that scene with just the sound design and the extremely detailed, how do I say this, touch, because they talked about this in the bonus material. Sound is not a thing in space because there's no medium to transmit it. So the only way to get sound is when a character touches a surface. So you can hear the touch, and you can tell what X person is touching just by hearing, which is great, and it really goes into the background when you are watching it with the music, which is not something bad. Like, it's not saying like, oh, the music is bad. No, the music is great. But this new version of the film brings a new light onto the detail of the sound that the film has.
Yeah.
Which is something unique. Like, it's not better. I think it's worse because the music does add a lot. but just to have that experience is great.
Okay. And what will be the best way to collect physical media for an actual beginner, in your opinion?
If we're talking about beginners, there's really no best way. You just buy films. That's it. Just look at your favorite film. For example, let's say you like the Sam Raimi trilogy of the Spider-Man films, which are great films to be honest. Let's say that's your favorite films, those 3 films. You can start collecting physical media by just buying a DVD of the first one. Like, it doesn't really matter. We just start buying what you like. Don't hear people that say, "Oh, you gotta own this version of this film because it has this." No, collect what you want first.
That's
And
me.
if you
Sorry.
if you collect what you like, no worries. But collect what you like. If you're content with, like, let's say 5 films, because those are the ones you care about, that's fine. You have 5 films on physical media that no one is going to take away from you. But if you like it and want to diversify, you can always look at special editions if you care. You can look at foreign films in physical media, etc., etc. But going back to the main question, how do you start collecting physical media? The answer is easy. Just buy films you like in whichever format you have or you can have.
Yeah, I mean, DVD is going to be cheaper, regardless.
DVD is going to be cheaper, yes, but if you only have a DVD player, you go buy DVDs. They are great still. You have the film in a physical media, and most of them have special features, which is nice.
Yes, and also, what is your take on streaming services?
Streaming services as a concept I think they're a great option to physical media. Why? Because with physical media, it comes with a certain sense of dedication. You own the film, and it's not cheap in relation to renting a film. You gotta pay the full price. But with that price comes ownership and extra stuff like special features, maybe a nice artwork, something. That's one way of viewing and keeping films. But then you have streaming services, which I don't think you should call them as ownership of the films, because you don't own anything. It's more of a trial, if you might say, like a evolved version of renting films, because you don't own any of the films with a streaming service. For example, if you pay Netflix, you don't own Money Heist, the series. You just have
the whole catalog, yeah.
No, you don't own that catalog. You just have the ability to see it, and that's
like
it.
Renting. It's
like renting. It's like an advanced form of renting.
Yeah.
Yes. And I don't think that it is inherently bad, but for me, the problem with streaming services are mainly 2. One, in terms of long-term price, and 2, in terms of film preservation. Because I'm going to start with the latter, because what you said with the Netflix editing, the suicide scene from 13 Reasons Why, is a prime example of how streaming services cannot be relied with for conserving media or keeping the media as how you want it to be. They're going to change it if they want to. They can delete movies from the catalog. They can add movies from the catalog without you asking, which is not inherently a bad thing if you know what you're getting into. Because if you buy a Netflix subscription thinking, "Oh, these films are mine, I can watch them whenever I want," no. You can watch them only on devices that are connected to the internet, that you are logged into, and you either download it or played movies from. It's not bad inherently, but you do have to keep in mind that the film in itself is not yours. You're just paying monthly for a license to watch them. And if the only thing if the only thing you care about is watching films, you don't care about owning them, you don't care about extra information, you just want to watch films, Netflix is perfect. You don't have to deal with the physical space of physical media. You don't have to deal with different versions of films, because some films, for example, Blade Runner, it has like 5 different cuts.
I got
You
all
don't
five
have
of them.
to. Yeah, you don't have to deal with that with Netflix. It just is there. It's pure convenience for the casual viewer, and it's great for the casual viewer. But when you get like into enthusiast territory, that's when you start getting problems, because for the really enthusiast that really is a kinophile and loves film and everything, blah, 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 you want all the different versions of a film. For example, with Blade Runner, you own all of them, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
Exactly. So streaming service for you specifically, it's not a good model. You want the extra stuff. You want the other versions of the film. You want to keep the film whenever you want. So it's a matter of who it's directed for. Is it for the casual viewer that wants to watch a film at 1 p.m. before going to sleep? Yeah, it's fine. You just buy like how much is Netflix now? Like $4.99,
Yeah.
$5.99, $5.99 a month. Watch a couple of films. You're good to go. You can cancel when you want. That's it. But if you truly want a film and have a A24 merchandise thing for some reason, you absolute skinophile, yeah, then you can buy the ultra rare Czechoslovakian version of a film in a Blu-ray. Because you do care about the film that much. So it's just a matter of who is it for.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, speaking of different versions, look at Apocalypse Now.
Oh, don't get me started. Jesus Christ.
Well, let's get started, shall we?
Yeah.
So, I never watched that movie, just so you know. So I don't know what you're gonna say. So,
Oh no, I
Yeah.
have read a little bit about the history, and not only was the production chaos, the release also was. There were like a crap ton of versions of Apocalypse Now, and the final one released relatively recently, on 2018, I think. So you have a lot of cuts, spending a lot of time, and getting the version you want can be a pain, really. I have to admit.
yeah, I do hate movies with different versions because it's not the director's fault, you could say. I mean, look at Blade Runner. Ridley Scott
Yeah.
not wanted 5 versions, but the studio wanted their own version. Ridley Scott said no, and the studio fight back, which is a same studio called Warner Brothers, by the way.
Let's not forget, right? Yeah.
And then if you think that's worse, go ask Zack Snyder. He'll tell you all about Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I don't think that needs introduction. Yeah, just saying the name. Yeah, already you know. You know.
You know, yeah. And for the people who don't know, just
Look it up.
Just
Do a
Google
Google
it.
search.
Just
Yeah,
Google
it's like,
hashtag Zack Snyder. That's
yeah,
it.
it's a ridiculously deep rabbit hole if you want to get into it.
I mean, we have time. Sure, let's get into it.
Oof. Well,
I'm
to be
being
honest.
serious. We're only at 42 minutes. We might as well just start.
Oh God, wait, really?
Yeah,
Wait, did we cover all the topics? Christ. Oh wait, no, we do have some left. We have, what is Plex?
Totally not choking on camera, but yeah. 1 second.
Fair enough. Well, I'm gonna talk over it. Yes. Well, Plex is in short a media manager.
Yeah, I guess.
That's what is on its core. It has other functions like streaming media from one device to another, receiving signal from like a IPTV,
Yeah.
and all that.
I have 8 terabytes of storage, so I literally turn that into an actual Plex server. I'm just saying. And you could actually do that if you have the storage, people. I mean, Plex is like your own movie theater, but with your own movies stored on an actual device, running on a computer through the internet, and you can watch it on any platform it can support. And if you want to try it out, what was a bank? You okay?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Basically, if you want to try out Plex, there is a link down below Just so you know, you can actually download it and you can actually check it out yourself. It's more like you storing your own media and playing it, which I have a lot of movies I owned, and I put them on my Plex, and it's really good and really convenient because I don't have to put the DVD in, aka known as not scratching my discs. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah. Have you used Plex before?
Yes, I have. I don't use it anymore, and I'm gonna explain why.
Okay.
The first time I got it working, it was on my PC, my normal PC, and it worked. It cataloged all my films correctly. It labeled them correctly, and I could watch them within my network, within my home network. Perfect. But what I wanted was it to be streamed around the world. If I wanted to, well, technically around the world, it just outside my network, and I got it working. But due to my internet connection, it wasn't feasible. So,
Okay.
so it's not that the service is bad; it's just my problems with my equipment. So I really do advise it that if you really have a crap ton of either physical media or media obtained with totally legitimate mediums, you can try Plex if you want. If it works for you, great. I actually, from the few days that it worked perfectly, it was great. So I would recommend it. And by the way, I didn't know if you knew this, but there is an open source project called Jellyfin that does the same. The only thing with that project is that one, it's a lot more complicated to set up, so it's more for the enthusiast.
Okay.
But if you're an enthusiast that likes tinkering with server or network things, and you like the prospect of Plex, I would recommend going with Jellyfin, as it is open source. You can modify it if you want, and by extension, it's free. But if you want convenience and a way to do it without breaking your head against a keyboard because there is a network error, you can go with Plex.
Right. Okay. Links will be in the descriptions for that one too, by the way. Interesting. I didn't actually know about open source project, to be honest with you. I only use Plex. Yep.
I sent you I sent you a link so you can see it.
Yep, I saw it. Thank you. Now, when it comes to physical media, the new media now is actually 4K. What do you actually think of it?
Well, I have to say, before I say anything, my TV is 4K, but we don't have a 4K player. We have a Blu-ray one. And it's not to say that it's, oh my god, it looks so blurry. No, it looks great. All my Blu-rays look amazing, even on a 4K TV, because the thing with Blu-ray and 1080p, it has almost no compression. So it looks crystal clean. Even if it's 1080p, if scaled correctly to a screen, it will look sharp anyways, because the file format is in itself high quality, regardless of the resolution.
Yeah, okay. Also, did you know there's actually 2 different versions of 4K out there?
I didn't know that.
Okay, so if you go on a movie, any movie, on imdb.com, for those guys who don't know, IMDb basically means Internet Movie Database.com, which for short is called imdb.com, okay? If you go on imdb.com and you search your movie, okay, and you go down to technical specs, and you see the word digital integral media, and that's at 2K or 3.4K, that movie is not transferred good on a 4K disc, meaning you are paying for a fake 4K.
All right. Well, yeah, technically speaking, you cannot create more pixels unless you have like weird AI or frame by frame hand painted pixels. But yeah, okay, I get it. It's still better than Blu-ray as it's capped at 1080p, if I'm not wrong.
2K, yes. It's capped at 1080p, yeah. So
it's capped there.
So when I buy a movie in 4K, I would always check on imdb.com and see if the digital intermedia is 4K. Then I would buy it in 4K. If it's not, I'll buy an actual Blu-ray. And that basically means there are movies out there that you're paying for 4K, which is not 4K.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, Blade Runner 4K is in 4K. But if you buy another movie like Avengers in 4K, by buying the actual 4K Ultra Disc, that's not true 4K, because it's actually 2K, due to the amount of CGI and green screen.
Yeah,
So
it
you're
would be too much
basically
to process, yeah.
So you're basically paying something you're expecting to be 4K when it's not actually 4K. So I just want to point that out for the people who don't actually know that when buying physical media. So, yeah, I mean, that's all the topics. And we're on 50 minutes.
Well, we're halfway through and we already ate up all the time. Nice. Now what?
Now, do you want to talk about Zack Snyder? Or do you want to talk
To be
about
honest,
something else?
no. Yeah, to be honest, I want to talk something else.
Sure.
For example, Nope.
Okay. Yes. Horror movie by Jordan himself. The
Yes.
maker of the one before us called Get Out and Us. And now Nope. Now, I like Us, okay? I like that movie. I do feel it's true in a way, but how can it be true? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, right? When you go on the internet and you see somebody, oh, doesn't this person look like this person? Do you ever get that feeling?
I think I had, yeah.
That's what the movie Eyes is trying to say, in my opinion. That there's always somebody like you. And isn't it true that there's actually 9 different versions of each human being? Oh no.
I haven't heard about that.
Right. Apparently, and I'm saying apparently because I don't know if it's true, there is 9 different versions of you, Blue, scattered all over the earth. But you would never meet them. You might see them, but you may never actually meet them. Or you may have actually met them. And that's what the movie Eyes is trying to tell us. In my senses of a way. But the movie Get Out, that's a whole different topic right there. Now, with this new movie, Nope, I'm saying this. It's an alien movie.
No, it's definitely 100% is an alien movie, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
The thing is, the thing is with Jordan Peele, he has cemented a new concept that I would like to call social horror. Because all of his films, up until now, have had social underlines. Some sort of social criticism, some sort of reflection of society within the horror context that until now has not been, how do I say this, obstructing of the film. Like, he masterfully puts both concepts on film without one interfering with the other, which is amazing. Because for something like Don't Look Up, the message is really, really obnoxiously clear. Now, granted, I do think that is on purpose. I think Adam McKay wanted the message to be as loud as humanly possible. But with Jordan, for example, his criticism of racism or the state of America is really subtle when you put it against the horror movie in and of itself. It goes along really nicely and it doesn't deter from the story.
Speaking of which, there is a movie that you just reminded me. It was a red butterfly,
Ooh, I have not heard of it.
red color, text. Begins with A. It's about this female journalist, and she gets kidnapped into a army. I want to say simulator, but I don't think that's the right word. Come on,
All right.
you
All right.
gotta
All
know
right.
this one. Let me Google it 1 second.
Okay. Okay.
It begins with A. I know it does.
Was it an Antebellum?
Yes, thank you.
All right. All right.
That movie reminded me of Get Out because it had the same principle, you could say.
Okay. I think with the social commentary thing, that type of
Yes.
principle.
Yes.
All right. All right.
And I think that is also a good one that you look at if you haven't really seen that one. So
I haven't seen that actually, but yeah, I'll have it on my watch list that I haven't really paid attention to actually.
Oh, that is a good topic actually. Watch list. We'll let you get to that in a bit actually. Yeah. You were saying?
No, nothing more really. That's the basis of a Peel film that has a social undertone. But going back to Nope, the film recasts Daniel Kaluuya back. It brings
Yes.
him back, which I didn't expect. Like looking at Us and Get Out, I thought that Peel would cast a new cast for his new film. I didn't really think that he would recast someone. I know it sounds weird, but with seeing him again, I can not think about Get Out. But I think that's just me. But having different casts for different films, I don't know. It's just a me thing. It's weird. It's odd. It's very specific. But that's my opinion.
I did get that Get Out feeling when I first saw him in the actual trailer, so yeah. Also, I really liked how he revealed his name in the trailer. Like, it's literally a dark area with one house, and you see the words going up or down, if I'm correct. And it says from Jordan Peele.
Yeah, from top to bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really well done. So whoever
Yeah, it really
edited that
hints.
trailer knows what they're doing.
Yeah, and it really hints on the subject, which is really cool. Actually, it's a minute detail that on the bigger picture does not matter in the slightest, but it's really cool to see.
Yeah. I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't Hollywood trailers getting too repetitive?
Yeah. To be honest,
Besides,
the only thing I remember from modern trailers are the music. At best, it's either that or I forget about them.
Yeah, it's like they're getting repetitive, but indie filmmakers are not.
Yeah. For example, if you watch the trailer for The Lighthouse, the first one, it is weird, and the film is weird, so it reflects that really well.
Also, we are really understand it's by a studio that likes weird movies, A24, which is
A24, yeah, right.
yes, which is one of the studios I enjoy, but I don't want to enjoy because if I enjoy it too much, I would technically have nightmares. It's like
Well,
the movie
yeah, makes sense.
Lighthouse. Like the movie Lighthouse. I enjoyed, but I did not want to eat my popcorn after that movie. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get it.
It's like I loved the performance from both the actors, Robert Pattinson and William Dafoe. right?
Right.
But the ending, no,
Oh yeah, the
no,
ending is it's wild. It's wild.
no,
It's pretty
no,
wild.
no, not my ending, in my opinion. I feel like I understand why, but like, if this was a casual first time viewer of A24, that is not the movie you should be watching.
Yeah, it's pretty weird unless you like connect it special in a special way. Like, it's a really out there film. Like, if I remember correctly, Robert Eggers described the film as nothing good can happen when two men are trapped in a giant phallus.
Yes.
If that doesn't give you enough information about how weird the film is, nothing will.
Also, now that we're on a topic of weird movies, let's talk about other A24 movies that really sparked the cinema, but not in casual audiences. I've also noticed this, right? The trailer is outstanding for A24, right?
Yeah, trailers from the company are really good. Are really good.
But when you watch the movie, you're like, my friend sat next to me was like, "What the fuck am I watching?" And I'm like, "This is cinema, my friend."
This is A24 cinema. It's
Yeah.
its thing.
And we was watching fucking Hereditary.
Oh, I remember
And
bringing my friends to watch Hereditary. That was great, actually.
I enjoyed it. But I'm not joking when I say this to you. My guy was literally throwing up in his own popcorn bag.
Wow.
And I'm
Well,
just
my
like,
story is not nearly as great, but continue, keep going.
and I'm just like, you're telling me you like horror movies, but you can't stand this? You can't. And he looked at me with popcorn all over his face, with like smear all over his face, and I'm just like, it's nothing. Trust me. If you think this is bad, go watch Midsummer, my dude. and then obviously we actually got the movie Midsummer, and I knew it was gonna be bad because what happens in Sweden happens in Sweden, I guess. But yeah.
Swedish.
Yeah. Holy shit! I was not expecting that movie to be very good. I was expecting the movie to be gruesome. It was gruesome. But
Wow.
it was amazing, in my opinion. Definitely not a movie to show to your parents, say that for sure.
No. I actually
no.
haven't watched. No. That's not the type of film. No.
No.
You'll probably get kicked out of the house.
Yeah, basically. But
going back.
my God,
I do
The
remember
amount
when I
of-
invited my friends to see Hereditary.
go on.
Because I did it twice. The first time, I invited two of my best friends, and one of them watched a lot of horror movies, like in the cinema, that his other friends from another group invited him to see, and he said that he didn't love horror films. He would tolerate them, and he would like them occasionally, but he wouldn't love them because he found them repetitive, and he didn't get scared by any of them. And that's why I got inspired to like bring my friends over to see Hereditary. I was like, okay, I can because he told me some of the films he watched with those friends, and it was like stuff like B tier horror movies, stuff like Conjuring 2, which it's a good film. Don't get me wrong, because it does grab the type of film it is, and it polishes it really well. But
What do you think
the
is the
point
best
is,
Conjuring movie?
the best Conjuring, I think it's the second one, really.
I agree.
I don't like the second one, not by that far. Like, it's not that big of a difference for me, but I do like it slightly more.
I think the second one really starts out why the nun is the nun, in my opinion.
Oh, I have not seen The Nun, though.
Without the second one, there is no nun, just so you know.
Well, and talking about Nun, he told me he would watch like B-tier movies and movies like Nun and Annabelle. So that's the type of horror films he watched. So I thought, okay, what film from a studio I know is the polar opposite of that? And the first thing that came to mind was obviously, it was Hereditary. So by the time I got the film and brought my friends over, I had not seen it fully. I had read about it a little bit. I have watched the main trailer, and I was like, "Yep, this is the type of film I wanted to see for a long time." And the best type of film to show to my friend that really doesn't love horror films. And we sat down, we turned the lights off, and we watched it from start to finish. First of all, in my personal opinion, it is a great, amazing film that is more of a drama for me than a horror movie. But that doesn't mean it doesn't unease me. For example, my favorite, by favorite I mean the one that hurt me the most, not the one I enjoyed, because I technically did not enjoy it because I felt uncomfortable the whole way. But I did like it. But the best scene, in my opinion, is this one shot of Alex Wolff on his bed right after he brings Charlie on in the car, and we can hear Toni Collette screaming. That shot is fucking haunting. With the screams on the background, the screams of Toni are horrifying. And if you think about it, it's just a shot of a face. And it's not even the one who's screaming. It's a shot of a face of a guy who barely woke up. And that's more scary than, I don't know, Conjuring 1 for me, which is odd. But well, the point is, when the film ended, when the credits started rolling, this friend... No, after the ending, with the credits. This friend, which I had that didn't enjoy horror films, looked at me and first of all, he swore at me. And then he told me that he was never going to watch horror films with me ever again because it's the first film that actually scared him in some degree. Like he felt dirty and scared by the end, and he swore by his heart that he would never watch a horror film with me again because I know what scares him. So yeah, that's my story with Hereditary. It's a great film. I own it. It's amazing.
What would you rate the actual ending?
The ending is
What would you
odd.
rate it? 10 out of what?
That's hard. Overall, I think it's an 8. I really like the most parts of the ending. The literal last bits with the cult in the house. I didn't find it bad, but it was radically different from what the rest of the film was. Because, for example, until the exact moment of when Alex gets into the house, all before that, the persecution, the persecution with the mother, the possession, all that is different from the rest of the film, but it still fitted correctly, and it was actually really terrifying. But the literal last, where the cult was there worshipping payment, it's not. It isn't bad. I still give it a 7 out of 10 on that part because I still enjoyed it. But it is different. But thankfully, at least for me, it doesn't ruin the film at all. No, it doesn't. It just closes it without anything special, without anything that is revolutionary. But it does bring a proper, decent ending to a great film.
What do you think of Midsommar?
Yeah, I have a little problem. I have not seen that film, and I don't have an excuse. I just think one day, I haven't watched Midsommar. I should watch it later this day, and then I forget. I don't know. It's not that I don't want to see it. I want to see it, but I want to see it on my TV. But my TV is on the living room, and I don't want my mom to watch Midsommar with me. No thanks. So I'm waiting for when I have a big TV, either alone or with really, really close friends, so I can watch Midsommar at its fullest.
Yeah, I agree. Be careful on that one, mate.
Yeah. Oh.
So how do you know about it? About being it not safe for parents?
Well, because when the film released, I did watch the trailers beforehand, and I only watched them like once or twice. I didn't want to like overanalyze it too much. The few reviews I heard from the channels I like said one of them referenced this, that it had a lot of sex, and I was like, okay, maybe the occasional sex scene here and there. But then I discovered that it was about to get an NC-17 rating because of the amount of sex. And I was like, all right, maybe this is not a good idea to watch with my parents.
Okay. Moving on.
Moving on, please.
What movie would you recommend the audience to watch this week? If it was going to be one movie.
Well, the Batman. I'm sorry, the Batman. You need to watch the Batman.
Of course you're going to watch Batman, but what movie would you recommend that has already been released to watch? So can't you just go ahead and pick it up from an actual streaming service or something like that?
Well, I want to watch it bad, but I think Spencer. If you want something slow, methodical, and dramatical, I would watch Spencer, the Pablo Larraín film with Kristen Stewart on it. I want to watch it,
Okay.
and it looks great. But if you want something more either relaxed or more action focused, I'm gonna watch Fight Club tomorrow for the first time. I bought the Blu-ray, but I haven't watched it. I want to watch it tomorrow.
I haven't watched that movie either. I've been told multiple times to watch it.
Okay, I think we both have something to watch next week then.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Also, regarding watching movies, what movie are you most excited for that's going to be coming out in the future?
Well, I would be lying to myself if I didn't say Oppenheimer, but apart from that...
Yeah, apart from that...
Apart from that, I think I don't know if you heard from it, but Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yes, I've heard of it.
Okay, for those who haven't, watch the trailer and do nothing else. Just watch the trailer. Don't read anything, just watch the trailer and leave it there.
Okay.
But yeah, I want to watch it. Like I'm starting to look where I can watch Sesame Man to get accustomed to the style of Daniels. But it looks like the type of film which focuses on being creative and fun and nothing else. Not to say that it's going to be bad or it's not of good quality. No. But one that does focus on creativity and fun. It's really refreshing.
Cool. So for me, it would be Top Gun.
Maverick.
Yes. I never seen a Top Gun movie in the cinema.
Yeah. Does that film have a release date even? Yes. It has been delayed a lot, from what I recall.
May. Coming out in May.
May.
Yes.
Wait, really? May? I don't know.
Yes. That's coming out in May. I'm excited about Avatar 2, by the way.
Oh, right. Is there a release date for that? Like 2022 or 2023?
Let me look. Because I did actually post it in the server long time ago. But I know that.
Oh, yeah.
I did post it in the server. Yeah. Posted a bunch of dates, actually. And I did say this is not confirmed, but
yeah, well,
Avatar 2, December 16th, 2022.
2022. So December. I don't want to put a date on it yet, but around Q4 of 2023. Around there.
What about
Q4?
Are you excited? Oh, actually, looking at my calendar, I have more topics for you now. What is your take on Doctor Strange?
Doctor Strange. I watched the first one. I thought it was fine and didn't watch it again, ever. I watched it once and it was like, okay, cool, that's it, and I never watched it again.
What do you think of the new one?
it looks interesting because
So
I don't know.
the one scene that's really making me shake is actually in the trailer, just so you know.
Mm.
His face are like cubes. I'm not
Oh
joking.
right,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember. Yeah,
That when you grind the teeth as well with it, so good. Just so you know.
yeah. To be honest, I don't know if I'm gonna watch it on cinemas. Like, for now, I don't care enough.
I'm
Maybe if I
actually
get
on
invited, I
IMDb.
will. If I get invited, I will go definitely. But
I am.
to,
I'm gonna check on
to be
IMDb actually.
yeah, but to
Doctor
be honest,
Strange.
the I think the reason it looks different is because it's coming from a director that has legendary status, and for many people, that has done superhero films before.
Which is
And
the Spiderman movies, which I never actually watched, by the way.
you doing you are missing out, mate. Well,
Um, someone who has arachnophobia, really? I'm missing out?
look, it's only a little spider at the beginning of the first film. That's it.
I mean, remember when I posted this morning in the server? Please do not post Christopher Nolan's movie in the server, which was a
Oh,
spider.
Taradilla, something like that.
Tarantula, I think.
Well, the point is, okay, fair enough,
Yeah.
fair enough.
I think it was called that one. But I know someone posted it, and I'm like, please don't post links for that movie because I don't want to accidentally click it. You know?
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But I did actually enjoy Spider-Man Tom Holland, obviously.
Yeah, to be honest, the only film I watched from Tom Holland was like Homecoming, and I thought it was okay, and I didn't care enough to see the sequels. I'm sorry, but I didn't care enough.
Yeah.
It's not that it's bad; it's just not my thing. All right.
Yeah, I guess. What do you think of Dune?
Of Dune,
Yes.
I want to read the book so bad, but it's sold out everywhere. I cannot find it. I cannot. I've tried. But the film, no, I like the film. I like the film. I went and watched it twice. One with my friends and one with my family because I wanted to show it to everyone, and we all liked it. It's a great film. Now, granted, it is a really cut down version of the book, and even if it's the first part, but as long as what it translates to the film is done well, I think it's fine. And and Villeneuve really did treat everything that he took out of the book greatly. He did an amazing job of it.
Yeah.
And most of my friends, like one of them was like, when's the part 2 coming out? Like he turned me immediately at the end and he said, okay, where's part 2? I was like, I don't know, but I want it as well. So yeah, we are waiting for Dune Part 2 to come, and I think
What do you think?
the
Yeah,
guy
go.
is gonna read the book and probably not spoil it, I hope.
What do you think's gonna happen in part 2?
Well, as I said, I have not read the book, but so I have no idea. But my dad actually had not only read the original book, but he also has seen the Lynch version many times.
Oh, yeah.
So he told me only what immediately happens after the 2020 version of Dune. So he only told me like what happens immediately after, which is that they take Janice to a Fremen funeral, sort of a Fremen funeral, and Paul cries. And that shocks the Fremen because, dude, that's a lot of moist you're throwing out for him. And that's all he told me, and that's it. That's all I know about part 2.
Well, we will definitely come back and actually examine what you just said when part 2 actually comes out. So, regarding Doctor Strange, it does have an aspect ratio of an IMAX scenes 190.1.
Wait. Oh, okay. I thought it was
So
like 1 and 1.43. Like, what the hell? Are they really going full aspiration?
no, Marvel don't even have. I mean, they have the budget,
Oh,
but they don't even want to.
ironically enough, Lightyear is going to have the full aspect ratio.
Buzz Lightyear?
Yeah, I think someone shared on the server a clip where it had full resolution, full aspect ratio scenes. I was like, what?
Let me confirm that 1 second. No. It's
Wait, really?
actually 190.1.
Oh, so it's probably zoomed in footage. All right.
Yeah.
That's a little disappointing. Fair enough.
I have a question actually. What do you think of the new Elvis movie?
I do not have any incentive to watch it. Like, it's not the type of film I care about, so I'm probably not gonna watch it unless either someone offers it to me or I'm forced to. Because I really, to be honest, I do not care about a Elvis Presley
I
biopic. To be
am
honest,
actually excited because I never actually watched an Elvis Presley movie, so I'm excited. And
Mm.
it's actually very accurate according to what people are actually saying.
Okay, fair enough. That's a good thing.
Also, John Wick 4.
John Wick 4. Oh,
Yes.
okay. This is gonna sound weird, but I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't just do a trilogy. I
To
feel
make it more
like
easier.
yeah, because to be honest, aren't they gonna make a fifth one as well?
No. 4 is going to be the last one.
Oh, thank God! I want it to end. Like, I don't want them to stretch it. I really don't want them to stretch it because for now it's a decent trilogy. Like, I enjoy it a lot. The first film
Yes.
is the best for me. I'm sorry, I don't care what you say.
I feel like
The second one is good. It's different.
I
And
feel
the
like
third one is just an extension of the second one for me, which is not bad, but it's
I
just
feel
an
like
extension of the second one.
yeah, I feel like number 3 is the best way they could have actually ended it.
Yeah. But to be honest,
Anyway,
yeah, up until the ending, it was like, okay, this might seem like a closure. And then they throw him out of a balcony. And I'm like, okay, now what? Oh, part 4. Oh, great.
now this one's very hefty on the topic. You ready for this?
Oh,
I
no,
want
okay.
this series to end now, please, for the love of God, please.
Yeah, to be honest, I want fourth one to be a closure.
No. The one I'm about to speak. I want this to
Oh,
end
okay,
now.
okay.
And it's not Fast and Furious. Don't worry about it.
I don't care about Fast and Furious.
That's also ending soon. Just so you know.
Okay.
Mission Impossible 7.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how it's run. I
Oh,
feel it's
that's
time.
yeah. Okay,
I feel
listen.
it's time.
I have a weird opinion because okay, looking at the timeline of Mission Impossible films, the first one it had all the rights to exist. Like, it was a new IP. Like, yeah, sure, make it. I don't care. The second one was weird. I didn't think it added anything more to the universe of Mission Impossible, other than a very cliche story, which wasn't horrible, but it was passable. Like, I didn't care that much for it. Number 3 was a change of pace. Wasn't bad.
Which one had the one where whoever takes this injection is dead?
Oh, that's the second one.
Okay.
Because the second one, yeah, I mean, it had, I think it has one of the cheesiest scenes on the franchise, and that's saying something.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Always actually
the third
best,
one,
in my opinion.
yeah, the third one was okay. It came back better. It was better than the second one, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care that much for it, but it was better. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's going back up again. Number 4 was good. The scene of the fourth one was with the Burj Khalifa, right?
Yes, with IMAX, just so you know.
Yes, that was good. I was like, okay, it's getting better now. Maybe we're going forward. I don't remember the fifth one existing. I don't remember what I don't remember what happens on it apart from the plane scene, and that's it. And I think that's where the problems start to shine, because from 4 to Fallout, I don't remember what goes on. I don't remember the films. I don't remember what's the stakes. I don't remember what the story is. I don't remember anything. I only remember Fallout because it was actually really good, and that's
One
it. I remember one
scene.
and Fallout and 3. That's it. That's all the films I remember, and
One
I think
scene.
that's the problem.
Yeah,
I
one
think that's
scene
the
I
problem.
like from Fallout is definitely the running scene.
Yeah, yeah, I get what you're talking about.
The
And
one
even
where
though
he licks his ankle.
yeah, I personally like the helicopters battle more, but yeah, the running scene, that was a great scene, to be honest.
Yeah. Now, we're going back in time. Actually,
Ooh.
300 years later, after the first movie. Jurassic Park.
Oh no, I have a problem. I have not watched any films of the Jurassic Park series.
Now,
Zero.
the prologue is out.
For the new one.
Yes,
Ooh.
it's out.
Alright.
And it's 300 years, I think, after. If I'm correct in saying that. If I'm not, then we're only human.
300
We make
years.
mistakes. But,
Christ.
yeah. Dinosaurs are now friends with humans? Really?
I don't know what goes on. I literally don't watch any media regarding Jurassic Park, so I'm sorry.
And it's the last one as well.
Oh, at least they're gonna end it. Jesus Christ, thank God.
There was one series I actually wanted them to end so much, which is called Fast and Furious. I think after 6, it should have been the wrap, but it wasn't. But
To be honest,
anyway,
the only Fast and Furious film I watched was the spin-off, Hobbs and Shaw, and it was fun, and I didn't think any much else of it. Like, okay, that was cool. Time to go to bed. I don't know. It didn't stick with me that much. It was a fun time, and that's it.
Now, 4. Love and Thunder. Phase.
Ooh,
The new one. The new phase. What do you think of it?
Well, I'm going to talk about first about Ragnarok.
Go ahead.
Because I actually enjoyed Ragnarok. I didn't expect anything of it, like zero. But the humor from Taika Waititi was great. I laughed a lot. And I didn't expect it to be so humorous. I expected it to be, serious, apocalyptic. No, it was fun as hell. And it was refreshing. It was like a comedy that knew what it was, a Marvel film that knew its place on overall cinema, which is fun, big scale films, embraced it 100% and milked every single bit of fun out of it. And it was great. I actually enjoyed it. So looking at Love and Thunder and seeing that Taika Waititi is coming back to the director's seat, I have actually quite I have expectations for it, which is something that I normally don't say for Marvel films. But the director in this film, and the one in Doctor Strange as well, with Sam Raimi, they're bringing caliber directors to the MCU, and it is very interesting. I'm really interested because before I didn't care who the director of Iron Man 2 was. I didn't know his name. I didn't care about his name. But now they're bringing big name directors that bring new stuff on the table and that have improved the quality of MCU films with the Russo brothers, with Sam Raimi, with Taika Waititi, with James Gunn. So the direction it's going to, it's great, and I think compensates for the fact that we ended a phase that had so many iconic characters and gives space for new characters to live, to exist in, which is really exciting.
I was not speaking, sorry. Now, speaking of James Gunn, DC had its rough moments. If I'm correct.
Definitely. It has its bad moments even. I would call them bad moments.
I think it started to shape up after Shazam. And then it went
Yeah,
skyrockets
yeah,
after Zack Snyder's Justice League cut.
yeah. I think
So,
I have to agree.
yeah.
DC is starting to get better and better with productions like Peacemaker, with productions like The Suicide Squad, Joker, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, granted, the future, I do not like it that much because we have the Batman, and that's it. Because the rest, it's Black Adam with The Rock as the main protagonist. And to be honest, I don't think The Rock can act that much. So we have Aquaman 2, which I do not care about. We have what else do we have? Shazam 2 that hasn't had any sort of trailers or news about, so I cannot say anything about that yet. So
I
yeah,
think
for
it
now,
was shown a little bit at the DC fandom, I think.
yeah, I bet. But to be honest, for now, as of February 27, there is
28.
nothing. 28. There is
Yeah.
nothing on DC that I care about besides Batman. Nothing.
I think Batman is the only reason DC actually exists. And
For
also
now,
Zack Snyder.
yes. For now, Batman is the cornerstone of DC in the cinematic in the cinema business in general.
I mean, how could you actually revive Superman into cinema?
We
That is a
we will
question.
need to have a new vision, and 100% new.
That
New
is a
director,
question.
new actor, new script, new ideas. It had to be something unseen, which is really hard.
I want Zack Snyder to make a Superman movie again,
Mm.
but better than Man of Steel.
My question is, does he want to?
Yeah, I agree. Does he want to?
Does he want to? Because if he doesn't, well, that's it. Cinema's closed. There's no film. Period. You shouldn't scream towards a director to make a film he doesn't want to do.
Yes. And speaking of, does he not want to do? You just reminded me of a question. Now, a lot of people have been saying Nolan should do a horror movie. He's also said yes to a horror movie. But do you think that is the move after Oppenheimer? Is to try and have a horror movie with Christopher Nolan in it as
To
the
be
actual
honest,
director? Now, he said that countless times he wants to do an actual horror movie. But as a viewer, a fan of Christopher Nolan, what do you make of that?
I think it is a really good and viable option. Because let's think for a second, what is left for Nolan to do? Not a documentary, because he has already made one, by the way. It's called Quay. So what do we have? We have horror.
Whoa,
we have
what?
Yeah, he has made a documentary.
Which one?
Quay, I think it was called. I'm gonna go to the IMDb of Nolan directly to check it.
Yes, please do, because that just shocked me.
Yeah. So what is left of him is like superhero films, horror, and what else?
Not a time movie. How about romance?
Not a time movie, which is almost awesome. But so yeah, there is almost nothing left for him rather than a few things here and there. Horror,
romance.
like romance as well.
Romance against time.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, but there's not a lot left to him. So yeah, they have really few options. You said it yourself. You have romance, you have horror, and not much else.
Music.
So musical by Nolan, that would be really cool. But yeah, the thing is, he has no option but to embrace styles that he has zero experience with and has built zero experience on. Because think about it, with Tenet, it's new. He's taking new grounds, but he has a base with Inception. He knows how to make a story of this scale and all that. But what experience does he have on horror or romance? The wives the wives are dead 9 times out of 10, and when they are alive, they die. So, what experience in terms of romance does Nolan have? None. almost none.
But he's actually
So-
married.
And he's actually married. So,
Yeah.
for example, what could Nolan bring to the romance genre? That would be interesting to see. What can he bring on the horror genre? That is interesting to think.
I think horror
So-
is going to be dominant because there's IMAX.
Yeah.
And
So,
IMAX is loud as fuck.
correct. So, looking at the options, it is correct. Horror is the, unless someone can come up with something different, and in that case, put it anywhere. Like post it in the Discord. Say,
And
oh,
also
maybe Nolan
post it
could do.
down below as well in the actual
Correct.
comment box.
Yes, correct. So if anyone has any genre that Nolan has not made and think, oh, he might do a good film on this genre, please say it.
I am going
But
to
for
go to
now-
IMDb right now and Google genres, actually. Let me check
Yeah.
this out.
But in that case, Nolan has to go with horror, unless he wants to do something again.
No,
Which I don't
has
think he
never
will.
done anything outside of a movie, meaning a TV show.
Maybe a Nolan TV show. You're correct. Maybe expand. I don't know. A fucking Christopher Nolan directed video game, for all I care.
I want a TENET video game so badly.
I want a Nolan video game of any kind. Fucking Dunkirk, Battlefield, and Dunkirk combined. I don't know. Battlefield 5, a Dunkirk DLC or something.
Christopher Nolan
That's-
doing a comedy movie.
Or a comedy. Oh my god. Nolan comedy. Yes. A Nolan comedy with fucking, I don't know,
With,
Taika Waititi.
with John David Washington
With
and
John.
and Denzel Washington.
Oh my god.
There you
Oh,
go.
that can open some. Yeah, okay. By the way, I found the documentary. It's a short documentary called Quay. It is spelled Quay. And it's a short documentary about the work of two brothers, directed by Christopher Nolan.
Quay.
It's a
Yeah.
short documentary.
2015.
Yes.
I'm guessing the brothers are actually Christopher Nolan and Jonathan
No.
Nolan.
There are two different. The Quay brothers.
Yes, I know, but okay. Interesting. And that's his first documentary
It's his first and only documentary as of now.
with 8 minutes running. Okay.
8 minutes. And it's a documentary, at least.
That is something I will be watching soon. Now, have you ever watched a band movie before?
A band movie. As of the definition, no. But if I have one on my sites, I want to see Happiness.
And that's banned in your country?
I have no idea, but I heard it's weird and disturbing. So I was like, yeah, why not?
Yeah, the one I watched
Yes.
is called Blue Story. That was actually banned in the UK.
Okay,
It's still
how was
watchable.
it called again?
Blue Story.
Blue Story.
Yes.
From what year?
2019, 20, I think. I don't know, but it's definitely in the 20s.
Okay, it's from 2019. I just looked it up.
Yes.
All right, so you say this was actually wait, was this banned really? It doesn't look that bannable. I don't know.
It is banned in some cinemas in the UK, but
All
I
right.
actually caught an actual screening of it, so that was nice.
Okay, here I found it. Happiness from 1998. I'm gonna see if it's banned somewhere. I don't know.
Did you enjoy No Time to Die?
To be honest, I didn't watch No Time to Die. I'm planning to watch Casino Royale first.
Oh, you're gonna go Grand Squad, okay.
Yeah, I want to start by the beginning.
Have you seen Edward Yeager's new movie?
Boyegas. No, I don't think I have.
Last Night in Soho?
Oh yeah. Oh, I wanted to see it, but literally, I have a story with this. I wanted to see it,
Mm-hmm.
and I looked at my local theater, and I was like, okay, it has its screening. And it looked, and it had like 2 dates on it, like
Okay.
the day I was in, and the one for the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't go to any of those for personal reasons, so I said, okay, maybe I'll wait for tomorrow to see if there are any new screenings. The next
No.
day, I checked the page, no new screenings.
No.
Then I checked the next day of the next day, and the page of the film disappeared.
Okay.
It lasted like a weekend, and that's it. And I was extremely disappointed.
Malignant. You seen that one before? It's a horror movie. Oh.
Malignant, the one from James Wan.
Yes.
I watched it. I watched the ending on TV, and it is wild. Like, I knew it was
Wow.
directed by James Wan, but bruh, that was quite a lot.
What do you make of the new Spiderman movie?
The new Spider-Man movie. Okay, how do I say this? I don't care of it. Yeah, I know it has like characters of millions of people's childhood, right?
Yes.
It expands many generations,
Oh yes.
and I am glad that it exists. Like, it is the ultimate fan service, and it actually came out to be a good film. Apart from being such a, I won't say nostalgia bait because that has negative connotations. Because the film was actually decent, and that's really commendable.
Yes.
But I personally did not care, and yeah, I think it's good that it exists, and I'm happy that it turned out to be actually good. But I won't watch it.
Speaking of good movies, let's talk about a very hyped movie that was actually received very poorly in the cinemas. The Matrix Resurrections.
Okay, now I can talk about that film because I actually went and watched it on the cinemas on premiere day in my country.
Okay.
So, objectively, it's bad. But I'm sorry, it's bad. I think it sometimes can become a parody of itself, but that
Yes.
does not mean I didn't enjoy it. Like, for Christ's sake, I think my favorite part of the whole film was the new Morpheus. He didn't give a shit about anything. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, he came out of a toilet seat, quoted the original film, and then referenced how he quoted the original. How stupid can you get? It is hilarious to see. And the acting of Keanu Reeves on that scene is bafflingly bad. I enjoy it. I'm so close to buy it on Blu-ray, but I'm not gonna because I want to buy other films first.
I feel
But
like
oh
whoever
my god,
buys
is it funny? It's funny.
if you're gonna if anybody's buying that on Blu-ray and actually buying it as your first viewing, just rent the damn movie. Don't even buy it.
Yeah,
as your
just
first
rent it.
viewing.
If you want to watch it, just to see how it is,
Just
rent it and forget it. Yeah, just
Yeah.
rent it. Because in an objective sense, it is bad. It
Yes.
barely utilizes elements from the past films, and the ones that it does use, it doesn't use them properly.
It doesn't
The
do
argument,
justice.
yeah, it doesn't do justice. The story in and of itself, it is poor, and it doesn't make sense in some parts. And by the way, Killshot, please tell me the change of frame rate wasn't abhorrent.
Yes, I agree.
It was so bad. And the scene with the therapist, not only does it have that shite frame rate, but it switches from normal frame rate to shite frame rate randomly. And it is so why?
Yeah.
But yeah, I still find it funny though. I still enjoyed it. I didn't feel ripped off because even though the film was bad, I enjoyed it anyways.
Yeah. You excited about Top Gun Maverick?
No,
Why?
because I have not seen the first one and have no connection to it.
I have not seen the first one, and I'm already hyped.
Wait, really? God damn.
Yeah, seriously.
But I do have to admit, the plane scenes on IMAX must look great.
They are. If you've seen the actual trailer, of course.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in theaters, a trailer in theaters, so I don't know how the theater experience is. But
Yeah.
if it is like the dogfights in Dunkirk on a cinema, then that's good.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching Dunkirk on cinema on release, and the dogfights were great. So if it's anything like that, that's a good thing.
I mean, Tenet in IMAX was actually insane.
Yeah, I literally Tenet didn't even come out on my country, so I was like, I was fucked. I couldn't see it.
But trust me, did you watch it then after it came out in the country?
No, it didn't come out ever.
What?
Yeah, they just skipped it.
Okay. But you've seen it, right?
Yeah, I have seen it twice. Well, almost 3 times because I skimmed through parts in the third time, but I did watch it completely twice. So yeah.
Wow. I actually beat you then.
Yeah, I probably, to be honest. Yeah.
15 in IMAX.
Christ almighty. And I got it on the second one. I didn't have any more reason.
And a bit more on the linear cut too.
Yeah, the linear cut. That's actually that's an interesting project. Like, wow, it
Yes.
doesn't reinvent the wheel, but it's a new way to experience. Like, it is like when I talked to you about the version of Gravity that I have. It's not necessarily better. It's not necessarily incredible, but it is a new way to experience a film, and that's always appreciated.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed that little project that I did. It's very good.
Yeah, it's fun. You can practice your editing skills, your narrative structure, all that. It's good.
I feel like it's been overdone.
I do have to admit, yeah. I mean, the whole film recut. I don't think I found that anywhere else, but I have. There are a lot of videos of people
Doing it on
putting
YouTube.
Yeah, putting not the whole film, but specific scenes in chronological order.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fun concept. It's a fun concept.
I don't think nobody's ever done the actual movie from start.
The whole film? No. For start to finish, no. But
and obviously, like
the
we're scoring
concept,
it too. So yeah.
Yeah, the concept of ordering the scenes in chronological order has been done.
Yes. And if you want to watch that version, join the actual Discord. DM me and I'll send you the actual version. Because it's actually in the actual Discord, but it's actually hidden away now. So yeah.
Yeah, I want to say that didn't you guys rescore the film without the extended soundtrack?
Yes.
Like the funny thing is that you finished it, and the day later the full soundtrack released.
Yes.
How was that actually?
The full soundtrack, as in my audio.
The extended one. No, yeah, the audience, the whole thing, the whole shebang.
Yes, the whole shebang. Fucking took longer than I actually expected it to be doing the whole album. But we won't say what audio thing because of copyright reasons, but we will reference a few things here and there. I enjoy doing the audio. But holy shit, when we're talking about 53 tracks, 52 tracks, it was a long ass process. You know what I mean? It was so long, and it was really long. And also, when you do stuff like long, proactive, and obviously the actual cover, which you will of anything. So that
Mhm.
was very long for me to do because I had to take breaks. There was a time where I had to take breaks and give my ears an actual rest because I'm
Oh
literally
yeah, that's
blasting.
important.
I'm
Yeah,
literally
that's
blasting
important.
audio. Okay, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But when we got the full soundtrack through Warner Brothers website, the whole process was basically I extracted it into a HAR file, and that compiles the tracks into HAR file, and then I sent that file to the server, and obviously the red team and blue team got it basically, and they figured it out how to unpack the HAR files, and they were doing that all night because it was actually released at nighttime.
Yeah, I do remember. Well, nighttime UK. If
Nighttime
here was,
UK and
yeah.
India would be morning time. I'm saying a morning time on purpose because the protagonist did actually help us out with that one, and so did
Mm.
Eminite. Is he Australian as well? Eminite?
Yeah, I think it's Aussie. I think he is Aussie. Aussie, 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 Aussie.
Right. So I don't know by time zones. What time is it for you right now? Is it like morning right now for you?
Right now here it's 7 p.m.
Right. So at 2 hours later, that's when it was actually out, and it was
Hmm.
really like hectic, you could say, in the tenant org chat room because we were communicating what track to do next, etc., etc. And I said, I'm just gonna leave you two to do it, and I'm just not gonna intervene if you two have actually got it like handled. And they did that all night. I think it was 9 to 8 hours of re-recording every single track from start to finish, and then compiling them into a folder and sending it over on mega transfers and all that stuff and helping each other out. And then I got the soundtrack completed. I then uploaded it to my mega, and then I just posted on the server. And then I asked Alice, that who's the editor. I'm like, do you want to use the extended soundtrack? And no, he goes, no, it's too much work. And I said, sure, okay. So that's why we didn't really do it.
Okay, fair
Because we
enough.
had the movie done, basically. So
Oh, so you
us,
wouldn't redo everything? So
no, because it took him a month.
okay, fair enough. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
Um, so there's that. And, yeah, I would say I enjoyed that, actually. A lot, actually, my projects. I do a lot of projects for the server. Obviously, you know about it. You've been a part of one of my projects, and a lot of people have been part of the projects. But now they're actually hidden because I want to focus more on Oppenheimer. So that's why they're hidden from the server. But they are actually accessible, but they're only accessible for the mods only, and for people
Yeah.
who actually enjoy my projects. And yeah, I mean, looking at my list, there's a movie I haven't actually spoken about, which needs to be spoken about. Black
All
Panther,
right.
Wakanda Forever.
Oh, that's a complicated subject, man. Oh,
The second entry of Black Panther.
that had its production turned upside down by events.
That's not the only movie that's had its production upside down. No Time to Die also had that too.
Yeah.
Apparently one of the cursed productions, you could say. But yeah. Back to Black Panther. Over to you, Blue.
Well, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. If I'm not wrong, the idea that first came out was okay, continue the story of T'Challa,
Yes.
and then what happened. So the film production has gone back and forth, trying new ideas, executing them, rewriting some stuff, and not only that, if I'm not wrong, one of the main actors, the protagonist, actually got injured.
Okay.
So that brought even more problems. So to be honest, I would be surprised if the film releases, because I do generally believe it has a possibility of just being cancelled.
Interesting. That's gonna be a shame.
That would be a shame, definitely. But Jesus Christ, with all the problems that it have, either it's gonna. There are three possibilities. Either it doesn't come out, it's cancelled. Period.
Mm-hmm.
It comes out, but it's a botched job due to all the problems. Or, and I think this is the most improbable possibility, is that it comes out and it's actually decent. Now, I hope it does come out, and I hope it's decent, but I don't think that's what's going to happen.
What is your take on the Flash movie?
The Flash sounded great at first. Like, you have a new director that has experience in cinema. It's not like an amateur or anything. You have an established actor tackling the concept of multiverses, which is, as of now, it sounds great. It brings old characters back to the big screen. But they decided to pull off something so unnecessary, in my opinion. Not necessarily horror film, no, it's unnecessary, which is to wipe the Zack Snyder films from the chronology.
That's dumb.
And the main reason I think it's dumb is because I don't see the reason. Because if we're gonna have multiverses, just move to another universe without deleting the other one. Just, you can have them both in parallel with the concept of multiverses.
Yeah.
They can both coexist. What's the need of overwriting the other one? I don't get it. And okay,
yeah,
that's considering how the state is now. But okay, some people are gonna get mad at me, I think. But in my personal opinion, DC should ditch any attempts of making a universe.
unless it's exact.
Don't make no at all. None.
Okay.
Instead of focusing on a universe-based canonical thing, however, it focuses on independent films and independent stories. So you have Marvel with interconnected films with a large universe, and you have DC with standalone stories of various characters. You can have trilogies if you want, like Zack Snyder did or tried to do. You all know what happened. You can have the occasional crossover, but for me, the main focus that DC should take is move 180 degrees away from the universe model of focus on independent stories with independent directors, tackling independent or either independent characters or different takes on the same character. For something like Joker, because we all know the Joker, it has had many interpretations, but the one that Todd Phillips did was unique. It had its own spin. And maybe in the future, we might have another spin on the Joker that we cannot fathom right now, but maybe someone can come up with something interesting. And we have its own version of the Joker.
Speaking of Joker, what are your thoughts on a trilogy?
It's not necessary. Like, no, I don't think it would be a great idea. I know, but I disagree. The second, can we just have an ambiguous ending? Do we really need to have another film that concludes? The occasional open ending is nice to see.
I mean, the second movie is going to be better, I think. I don't want a third one. I don't mind the second movie, but like that's it. The second movie can also touch a little bit on young Batman, young Bruce Wayne, that we saw in the Joker.
Yeah, we did saw him a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that can let you touch on that. But other than that, that's it.
Yeah, my opinion is more radical. I don't think there should be any sequels. But
I do want this Joker second movie to kind of cryogenic order, like connect to Batman Begins in some way. Because that would be a good show.
All right.
Anyway,
Can you excuse me for a second? I need to quit for like a few minutes. So
sure.
You try to cover me for a second. Thanks.
Sure. So, while Blue's away, I'm gonna use this opportunity to snip. And yeah, we'll see you guys when Blue's back. Okay, guys. Yeah, Blue's back. Welcome back.
Yay.
So, where were we? We were talking about a movie which I actually just forgotten. Oh yeah, Joker.
Yes.
Yeah. I want the second version to definitely touch on Batman.
Batman directly. Ooh.
Yes. So, because if you remember, something happened, which I won't spoil, if you know what I mean. But
In Joker.
Yeah. No. Joker did something, and Batman, etc. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But yeah. Anyway, are you excited about Avatar 2?
Well, I would be, but because I did watch the original film, but I really do not remember what goes on because I watched it when I was like 7 or something.
Okay.
So I would have to rewatch it. But the prospect of a new Avatar film, if I like the first one when I rewatch it, and if I like what I see in terms of maybe trailers or a poster, then maybe I would go see it. Yes, but as for now, I have no idea.
With 4D glasses and 5D glasses as well.
Maybe, yeah. To be honest, that would be the only film I would watch in 3D voluntarily because I mean it's Avatar. I would suppose that it uses 3D.
Made 3D better, I think.
Yes, and actually,
going
way back, Gravity used 3D amazingly.
Yes, it did. But saying that, 3D is an amazing format. We don't fucking see it much, do we?
No, and there is a very specific reason for that.
Which is?
It's big. It was overdone. It was used in many films which not only weren't properly recorded in 3D, but in ones that 3D didn't add anything. So people just associated it with a gimmick instead of a format that can bring great stuff like Avatar, like Gravity.
I agree. I feel
the overuse of 3D killed 3D, which is ironic.
I feel like Star Wars in 3D was not actually necessary. It was never shot in 3D, if I'm correct.
IMAX, on the other hand,
it was.
It was.
But do we see that in the Blu-ray version? Nope.
No. We see at best a 16:9 image because most screens are 16:9.
And here's what pisses me off, as you just said that to me. Why the fuck Dune is not in IMAX for the Blu-ray and the 4K version?
Yeah, that's quite sad. Like I expected like full 16:9 coverage of my screen for like the worm scenes, but no, we're not getting it, which is sad.
We're not getting it, which is sad. Yeah. 3 more questions left. Wonka. The new Wonka movie. Yes.
I actually, this is weird, but it is such a weird concept. Like, I couldn't fathom it existing, but because of it, I think I'm gonna watch it. Like, Timothée Chalamet is a good actor. We all know that. We have seen it. And the concept, yes. And the concept of a young Wonka is something that never, and I mean it, never crossed my head. So I think just because of that, I might watch it. If the trailer shows a movie that looks outrageously bad, maybe not. But the prospect is good enough for me to be interested in.
Wasn't he Paul Atreides?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Now I'm interested. Okay. Now, what's your take on Shazam: Fury of the Gods?
I like Shazam 1, and I think I might like the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I watched it in the theaters, and it wasn't something. It was something fun and and with heart that appealed to a lot of people. And that's not because of saying, "Oh, it's mainstream, that's bad. Who cares?" No, it appealed to a lot of people on purpose. That it was its objective, and it did it greatly. It was a fun film that had a lot of heart, and it was really funny, and it was a fresh take on a relatively original concept that I did want to see more of. And now we're getting more of that. So yeah, I'm gonna watch it probably.
Yeah. Did you enjoy Candyman? Because that's a question I want to ask you.
I actually, well, to be honest, I watched the trailers and
Mm-hmm.
I thought to myself, this looks boring. So I didn't actually watch it, even though I did had the opportunity. But I just said no, I don't care enough to see it, and I didn't. And I still, to this day, do not care about new Candyman.
What about? I know I posted an article about ages ago about Blade Runner 3,
Blade Runner 3.
and you
I
said,
oh,
"What?
oh,
No, Jesus Christ, that would be an easy project to fuck up."
it is true. I still stand by that.
Why?
Because let's see, we have Blade Runner, which was a noir sci-fi cyberpunk film that
Which the
was
game cannot
extremely
be good.
yes, that was extremely 80s, extremely of its age, that became a cult classic due to its original concept. Well, it wasn't really original, it's based on a book, but
Yeah, basically.
the how new it was for the time, the concepts it brought, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
How do you continue that? It's almost impossible to say. So that's why Denis Villeneuve grabbed the idea of a Blade Runner sequel and said, fuck it, I'm not going to make a direct sequel.
Yeah.
Like, he took he approached it in a different way. He made his own story within the universe. He brought new stuff on the table. He brought new characters, and he only used the older characters as a medium to tell his new story. They weren't the focus in the sense that they were the heart of the story. The heart of the story was Kay,
Yes.
and it used elements of the old film to tell his story. That's all it was used for. So, in order to make a Blade Runner 3, you have to do the same. You have to think of a whole new character, of a whole new concept, of a whole new story in the same universe. And that is so difficult considering the cult status and the craftsmanship of the previous films. That is painfully easy to slip up on.
I know Dave Bautista gets slammed in the intro, but I want to see
Yes.
his own life in Blade Runner 3.
He did have a short.
Preload. Yes, I know he had a short, but I want it to be better and longer.
You want the in-between of 2049 and the original.
No, I want to see, yeah, that too, but also Dave Bautista at the Blackout.
A film of the Blackout.
How did he fall in love? How did he have a child with this female?
With Rachel, in fact, I think. Was it with Rachel?
And how and what time did Kay found him? Because when Kay enters his apartment, I want the movie to actually end right there. I think that should be the ending for that one. And then you go watch Blade Runner 2049, then you can see how it actually happens. If you know what I mean. I think that would be a good way of having a Blade Runner 3. So if you're watching, Danny, that is the way. That is the way, you know? Yeah.
I would personally go with the blackout route because it's a concept that was mentioned once on the original film, well, on the original in the 2049, and had one short film.
Mhm.
I would like to see a movie about the blackout. Like maybe it's not necessary, and it may be bad, but it's a concept that has, I don't know, potential that could be explored. Maybe not the blackout itself. Maybe it could be immediately after what happened immediately after the blackout. It could be what led up to the blackout. Because
Yeah.
I think the blackout is one of the most interesting concepts that was introduced in 2049.
Yes, I agree. Because that, and also the game Cyberpunk is the reason why I bought Cyberpunk is because of Blade Runner.
Hmm.
Like, I didn't buy it because it's Cyberpunk. I bought it because it's Blade Runner. And speaking of Blade Runner, did you watch the animated series of Black Lotus?
No, I did not.
Neither did I, so let's not talk about it. Speaking of TV shows, Suicide Squad. No, sorry. Squid Game.
Peacemaker.
Squid Game.
Almost.
I'm not seeing Peacemaker, so I don't want to talk about it. Yeah. Squid Game. Very popular show.
Yes.
Ramped up Netflix's subscription rates like hotcakes.
Yes.
And I think that's why it dominates. That's why streaming dominates, because of these certain TV shows. But there are TV shows that actually flop. There are movies that actually flop from Netflix. Like,
yes, in fact, I
Sandra
would go as
Bullock's
far as to say
Bird Box.
yes. In fact, I would go as far as to say that it's mostly bias. It's not that Netflix makes masterpiece after masterpiece and bring a lot of new clients with each film. No, most of them fail.
Yes.
It is literally throwing stuff at the wall and see what sticks. And what sticks really well. Case in point, Squid Game. Case in point, Bird Box. Those are films that did stick ridiculously well.
I agree.
And that's the business of Netflix with original films. Throwing stuff at the wall. See what works.
Yes,
Iteration.
then you have Amazon, then you have Disney. Well, we all know Disney's all about Marvel and stuff like that.
Yes.
But like,
Marvel, Star Wars, and that's it.
but like, if you were speaking to a studio right now through this podcast, what would you say to each studio out there? What advice would you give them?
Take risks.
Okay.
That would be my advice. Take risks. Listen to ideas that sound stupid or bad and reflect to them more than 2 seconds to see if there is some potential.
Now, I'm going to be brutally honest here. You can also change your answer if you want to.
Mhm.
For Disney, I want to have the ability to buy physical media, because I know there is a rumor out there where they're going to remove physical media so they can promote Disney Plus.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Yes. For Fox, if you're watching this, I want a 24 TV show with Kiefer Sutherland back. But I want it to be called a Season 9. For Star Wars, I want you to literally give us a straight chronological fucking order. This is getting really, like, nuts.
Oh, yeah, the timeline.
For Marvel, what I want from Marvel is literally a movie filled with 100% from start to finish in IMAX.
Oh, that would be a really good idea. Yeah.
For DC, I just want you to literally stop being a dickhead and give Zack Snyder what he wants.
If he wants something.
Yes. And I want you to literally explain the reason why you and Christopher Nolan broke off. I know you've said this, but you didn't say in detail why. And I literally want to know also from the Last of Us team, if you're watching this podcast,
Ooh.
the TV show, please, for the love of God, don't fuck up my favorite video game. And that's me being honest.
Yeah.
Because Sam in the video game is not deaf. But in the TV show, he apparently is. Like, what the fuck? You've already ruined it for me. And Universal. You are in charge of the man who is known as, I would say, the king of cinema, Christopher Nolan. If you don't listen to him, he can get a different studio. And if he does, I know a very interesting studio that would pick up Christopher Nolan. On agree with me or not, Blue, you know this is a freaky move. A24 and Christopher Nolan.
Oh God.
Yes. Now that is a move that could be potential for a horror movie, or I don't know, but yeah. MGM. I know you.
Oh, I forgot MGM existed.
I know you have James Bond in your books with a female, but I would like to see a James Bond TV show.
Oh, that would be interesting, yeah.
With Daniel Craig in it. Even
That's
though
gonna be hard.
he's not in the TV show, even though he's not in the movies, but I want to see a TV show where his old movies line up to the TV show kind of scenario. So we could have this is what happens before Casino Royale and after Casino Royale. That's two TV show ideas that I've just given you. And etc. for the other movies. But obviously with No Time to Die, you don't need a TV show for that one. 20th Century Fox, what are they known for? Let me get this straight. I don't remember what. Okay, let me think. Do you have any ideas, Blue? Because I'm about
For
to
20th Century Fox, well, I said the main one, and that goes to every studio in existence. Like, take risks. You cannot believe the kind of films you can produce if you take risks. Like, look at A24. They make the weirdest shit. They do. They have millions. They have millions of fans of actual dollars. They have recognition, and they take risks as if it were their job, and it kind of is.
Yes, there's one here which I didn't mention, which is my favorite, by the way. Lionsgate.
Ooh.
I do want Lionsgate to make a romance movie. But the romance character is Jigsaw.
Oh, God.
I want to see a movie where Jigsaw, aka Tom Bell, if I'm saying that correctly. Who is Jigsaw, by the way? To show us what it was like before he became Jigsaw. How he fell in love with his wife. How he really cared about his wife and etc. And how he became Jigsaw. And how did he set up the first movie? How did he set up, Dr. Gordon? How did he scout him out? How did he investigate him? How did he do this and etc. and all that? And how did he take measures to his own hands and set up the actual bathtub scenes and all that stuff?
I mean, wasn't that addressed in the other films? Like, not greatly, like, it explained it really basic ways, but wasn't all of that explained?
I want a detailed version of him actually dragging Dr. Gordon. and then continue on with the number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, all in one Jigsaw movie dedicated to Jigsaw on how he
That would
set
be
up his
crammed.
own traps, etc., etc. And the runtime can be like 5 to 6 hours. Because if we can watch a Zack Snyder 4-hour movie, I'm pretty sure we can watch a 5-hour movie of fucking Jigsaw. But that's my opinion. Now,
Talking about Saw, I think
yes.
they should. I mean, listen, okay? Listen to me first. Reboot. Like 100. No Tobey Bell. Piss off. Old. A new take on Jigsaw. Because we already have we've already had the same take for 9 films. And I don't know, maybe bring Lee Wanell back on some way. A new take on Jigsaw. A more shorter one.
We've had a different Jigsaw, and I love the fact. And Spiral.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. So we can go back into that one if we can do. But there's also a way of like, if we talk about new Jigsaw, who do you want as a new Jigsaw?
Well, to be honest, the first person that comes to mind, it's the one that first of all, I don't think he would do it, but for some reason that I cannot explain, Brian Custom comes to mind.
Okay.
And I don't know why.
Okay. Legendary. Bright Studio. I don't know what they've done, so I'm not going to comment on that one. Just to be on the safe side. And I do want a Final Destination movie again.
I'm going to add something. Make it a satirical one. I want an official Final Destination satire film.
Okay,
it sounds weird.
Okay.
But I don't care.
Tell me a dream movie.
A Final Destination or in general?
No. Any dream movie that you want from a studio.
Okay. Listen, it's not the best film. It's kind of dumb. The idea is kind of dumb. And it probably would fail. But Jesus Christ, I want a movie based on the payday law from the games. Because it gets so fucking weird. It goes from robbing banks to saving the world from an elitist cult that has been run since the day of the Ice Age. It is stupid as fuck, and I want it.
Okay, the one I actually wanted is actually being made, which is called The Last of Us, so I have to pick something else now. I do want to see my dream movie, which would be... I want to see a IMAX movie from start to finish. It's gonna be expensive as fuck. I want to see an IMAX movie from start to finish, and it is Detroit Become Human.
Ooh,
the video game.
That would be interesting. Yeah, I have played the game, by the way, so I know what kind of story.
I want not Warner Brothers. I want Sony Pictures to studio it.
Okay, why the decision?
Because Sony is PlayStation.
Ooh,
they
right.
already know their own game, so they can't fuck up their own movie, can they?
Well, don't be so optimistic.
Yeah, saying that, they fucked up Resident Evil, which is pretty cool.
Yes.
You played Resident Evil?
I played a bit of the remake of the third one on a friend's house, and I actually enjoyed it.
Okay, play a remake of number 2, then watch the shitty Raccoon City movie, and tell me what the fuck went wrong. Or I can just tell you straight in your face on this actual podcast. Your choice.
All right.
Do you want me to tell you or no?
Yeah, whatever. Go ahead.
Sure. In the video game, Claire Redfield, okay, let me use my hands, and Leon S. Kennedy, okay? They both meet up, okay? Cool, great, yeah? Claire has a brother called Chris Redfield, okay? In the video game, they are brothers, okay? They are been brothers since the first game, okay? Now, you're telling me that a enemy, aka known as Dr. Birkin, yes, Dr. Birkin, the guy who made the T-virus in number 2, has opened up an orphanage house, and that orphanage house has young Chris, a young Claire, when in fact, them two never fucking met Dr. Birkin. The only person that has met Dr. Birkin is Leon S. Kennedy and Claire Redfield, from my knowledge. I know for a fact they were not raised by Dr. Birkin. But in the movie, they are, which is dumb in my opinion. Because you literally fucked up the whole timeline by that whole decision, basically. So yeah, that's the new Raccoon City movie for you, Blue.
Wow, thank God I didn't see it.
That's what I'm saying. Play the game and you'll find out why it sucks. Now, before we end this, what director do you want to bring out a returning movie? A movie that has been done, dusted, and you want it to be returned. From what director?
Ooh, first of all, I would have to choose a film. You know what? Talking about what we said back, I want a Saw reboot that it's preferably just 3 films at max. That is more realistic in the sense that it actually can the machines, the traps can actually be made. That the plans can have the plans that Jigsaw makes can fail because it's a human. It's not a god like in the films that he predicts everything. Plans that can fail and scenes in which those plans do fail, also and that also focus on the cop side, like a cat and mouse game.
Yes.
Directed by listen to me. He's never going to do it, but I don't care. David Fincher. He will never do it. Even at gunpoint, he won't do it. But I don't care. That would be my dream reboot.
Okay. I want Christopher Nolan to make Interstellar 2. Or maybe Tenet 2. But have Neo's perspective on the whole storyline.
Neil's friendship from the past.
No. His old perspective from the first movie. So we've seen John David Washington's perspective. We've seen his actual POV, okay? Now I want to see Neo's POV. How he got from there to there to there to there, etc., etc. Like for example, right? How did he go to the first airport scene and did an investigation? Did he take a bus? Did he take a car? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that. And possibly a few flashbacks of them two together. Yes, that would be nice.
Like old John David Washington and young Pattinson?
Yes, but I do want to see a version where this is, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. How the fuck did Robert Pattinson went from helicopter to the opera house? That's what I want to see. And for Interstellar 2, I want more Matthew McConaughey on Dr. Brad. I want him to find Dr. Brad.
I mean, that's kind of what they set up at the end.
And have a movie together. Because if I'm correct, Charles is still with Matthew McConaughey. So he could literally go home. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, and kill Murph.
Why?
She will probably be dead on arrival. Like she was told, she was about to die actually in the film.
Yeah, spoilers. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah. Yeah. Basically, yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much it, really. We did
That's
it.
the podcasterino.
2 hours and 30 minutes. We went overboard, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, guys, that is it for the podcast. I hope you enjoyed. Blue, thank you for joining me at short notice. Literally, I just called him and I said, "You want to do a podcast?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." We just did it basically. Like literally, like what was that was like a 10-second warning.
20 maybe? Yeah, at best.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks, Blue. If you want to follow Blue, links are in the description box.
It's literally gonna be only my YouTube, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, links are in the description box. Next episode, I don't know what's gonna happen because Blue is not the intended guest, but hey, I actually appreciate it for that one for coming at very short notice. I want to say I'll see you guys next week, but I don't know. So, see you next week, 6 p.m. UK time. And yeah, also, I want to say thank you to Brian Cooper for the voices that you've heard. And yeah, that's it really. And my recommendation for this week for you guys to watch is going to be Tenet. Do you have a recommendation to give to the audience to watch, Luke?
Free Guy. It is not as cringe as you think.
Okay, cool. That's 2 movies you can actually pick up and watch. So it's actually available on Blu-ray. You can go and check it out. It's available to rent as well. And yeah, that's it from me. So yeah, this has been Blue. My name is Killshot. I'll see you guys next week, 6 p.m. UK. See you then. Bye, guys.